Hello, this is Two Ladies Midwest Adventures. I'm reading Days of the Martyrs again. It says, do you want time to consider us, Governor? In a matter so straightforward, there is no considering. Gosh dang it, that wasn't really. I think I have it on the wrong page. Okay. By the last part of the 2nd century, according to Philip Schaff, there were 700,000 Christians in the empire. A constant stream of converts had more than replaced those who had perished. However, as members of a forbidden religion, the Christians could not have public houses of worship. The Romans, because of their dread of the shades of the dead, left undisturbed their growing network of underground cemeteries, now called catacombs. Christians, to be sure, were not the only group to use catacombs. Mithridates, Jews, and some pagans also have had underground cemeteries. Excavated by fossors or gravediggers who held special honored status in the church. The Christian cemeteries had existed not only in and around Rome, but in other parts of Italy and Sicily, Africa, and Asia Minor. Since the 1st centuries, they consisted of long, narrow galleries in the bellows of the earth, carved in the hills outside urban areas. The dead were usually buried in 2 or more tiers, and small compartments were cut like shelves in the walls, and rectangular chambers were fashioned for families distinguished martyrs. The ceilings were sometimes flat, sometimes arched. The chapels, which appeared at intervals in the narrow passageways, were ideal for funeral services and private devotion, but not for public worship. Most of the walls, especially in the chapels, were plastered over and decorated with religious symbols such as the orans, a figure with hands outstretched in prayer, or such figures of the resurrection as Daniel in the lion's den and Jonah in the whale. Christ was usually shown beardless, as the Good Shepherd, or as Orpheus. The mythic animal tamer, to show Christ's function as a tamer of men, or as a philosopher carrying a scroll. It is uncertain whether the church ever met in catacombs for worship in times of persecution. Only 20 to 30 people could fit, crammed like sardines in the tiny chapels. It is certain that many Christians fled their dear in time of trouble. All cemeteries were protected by law from desecration. even at the height of Marcus Aurelius' persecution. Christians were allowed to bury their dead there. Government troops seldom would venture to search the tombs in making arrests. People were attracted to the church not only as a teaching of a good and loving God, by the hope of a life after death, or by the requirements for a righteous life, but also by the conduct of the believers. See how they love each other. Was the reaction of many outsiders. Christian charity was especially noticeable during the smallpox epidemic. While many pagans abandoned sick members of their families and fled, Christians tended not only to their own sick, but the stricken pagans as well. This and other acts of love concern won sympathy of many pagans. Love and concern. Another thing that left awestruck those who had any association with believers was the occurrence of the miracles that were still taking place at the end of the 2nd century. This is documented by Irenaeus, Bishop of Lyon, a Greek, born in Enoia, Asia Minor, around 120. He studied under Polycarp. His education not only sacred subjects, but also the writings of Plato, Homer, and other Greek authors. At an early age, Irenaeus went to Lyon, where he was ordained by Pothinus. He was on a mission in Rome in 1707, when the terrible massacre occurred there. He was appointed as successor to Pontius. Under Irenaeus, the church in Lyon revived. The church in Lyon revived through an influx of converts. Lyon, in the latter part of the 2nd century, was the site of many supernatural manifestations. Irenaeus, for example, recounted how on several occasions when the entire community met together and besought God with such fasting and supplication, subsequent to the death of an individual, the spirit of the dead man has returned, and as life has been granted to the prayers of God's people. Irenaeus, moreover, recounted that in his diocese there were exorcists who really and truly drove out demons. Furthermore, some have foreknowledge of the future, visions and prophetic utterances. Others, by the laying on of hands, heal the sick and restore them to health. And before now, as I said, dead men have actually been raised and have remained with us for many years. In fact, it is possible to enumerate the gifts which throughout the world the church has received in the name of Jesus Christ, crucified under Pontius Pilate. Plate. Stay blessed, make the world a better place, one person, one moment at a time. Like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers to start beekeeping. You guys gonna say anything? Woo! Yeah, there it is. Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe so we can get to 1,000 subscribers so we can start beekeeping.